Okay, so here at the Car Stars garage, we are currently working on an engine run stand. So we're going to take this off of here and we're going to stick it onto there. And as you can see, I'm just in the process of mounting some casters onto this framework. It's way bigger, I think, than it's going to need to be. That's 2.5 inch tube right there. And it's 14 gauge, I think, wall thickness. So yeah, so I think it's a lot bigger than it has to be. Those casters can hold, the front ones, the swiveling ones, supposedly can hold 335 pounds each. The rear ones, 275 pounds each. So should be more than enough to hold this LS1. Yeah, so I'll do some updates on this engine stand once it's a little further along, as I'm just using my, I don't even know how to pronounce it, Hicks Vogan MiG 250 welder, which is turning out to be a pretty decent little welder. We're not super thrilled with the gun. It's a little sloppy, but yeah, so just welded up the tubes to the other tubes, make sure it's all nice and square, welding some bolts so that I can bolt up the caster. I didn't really want to drill through the steel and try to bolt it through like that. It's just it's a pain in the ass to try to get nuts and stuff inside the tubing. So yeah, so I'm just welding the bolts to the tube. And over here we have a piece of, I think it's about 1/4 inch steel, might be slightly bigger, but this is the engine mounting plate, so that'll just go right there, and then we'll have an arm. So the mounting plate will just go right here, and then we'll have an arm coming down, connecting to the outer edges of that stand. And this will be specifically made, this stand right here will be specifically made to mount just this LS motor. So we don't really perceive or think that we're going to work on any other types of motors or have a need for Ford, Chrysler, whatever. But if the occasion does arise, it wouldn't be too big of a deal to modify the arms to take other engine types. But yeah, so once it's flipped over on the casters, there'll be a stand-up little control panel, spot for a radiator, spot for a battery tray. Yeah, so it's getting there. We'll do some updates. Excuse all the mess, but I didn't bother cleaning up last night after I finished working on this thing. But here is the continuation of the engine run stand build. I use these 1 inch tube here, and that's 3/4 inch tube down there just as a little brace. My thinking on this is that'll be the instrument panel there. Obviously we don't need all that room, so I'm going to run a brace from there to there, and from there to there, and there to there. Much lighter material, and then just have a sheet metal control panel in the middle. I'm going to have a fuel tank down here, battery over there, radiator will be between here and then on that side. What are we missing? We got fuel tank, radiator. So yeah, so the engine, the front of the engine will be facing this way, and the exhaust will be going off that direction. So you'll stand here, and yes, you'll have some radiator heat blowing on you, but that's no big deal. So yeah, I think that is it. So I'm just going to work on some of this. I just cut slots in the tube and bent it over, and then I'm just going to put like a little sheet metal patch over this. Doesn't necessarily have to be like super strong or anything. So yeah, so stay tuned for some more updates after I work on it. So this is where I'm at right about now. Made the battery framework. That'll fit like it's about 1 foot wide and about 7 inches deep or so. Should fit most typical car batteries. Here's the control panel. Just using really light, I think this is 3/4 tube. It might even be 1/2 inch tube. But yeah, it's just, this thing is way overbuilt. It's way too wide. But it's our first stand, so, you know, it's going to be awesome. It'll be functional. So yeah, so I got to find something to use as a gas tank. I've been looking online. I don't want to get anything that's more than a couple gallons in size, but yeah, it's going to be hard to find. So anyway, this is what it looks like.
I'm itchy myself.
Oh God, he's itchy.
I got fleas.
He's okay. All right, listen, viewers, all 11 of you. I'm building this stand. Charles and I are building this run stand. And I posted some footage, or I have some footage of the previous assembly here. We've got these braces in at the bottom for the radiator right here to hold the radiator in the top. I got this aluminum radiator from a dirt track place. You can probably tell how filthy it is. But we were bringing the LS1 over, and we're going to try to swing it into our stand when we realized that I had this brace coming across the front here. So it was just a typical box design. But we realized that the lift wasn't going to fit the engine in there, and we really didn't want to extend the arm out any further because we felt like the motor was going to tip the stand over. It was just dangerous. So Charles came up with the bright idea of lifting up the front cross member that high, gives us about a foot clearance under there to bring the feet of the lift through there so that we can safely get the motor hanging right here, because now we're going to work on what?
The arms? I don't know. What do you call them? The bars that are going to attach to the motor mount.
Yeah. So we've got these thick plates here that we've attached to the side of the motor. We're going to have a 1 3/4 inch tube come straight down, and we're going to do a cross member tube right there. Our shop is absolutely cluttered. That's the arm, so it's going to kind of come straight down onto another tube that's going across there.
If any of you guys watched that, I think it was Holly, on April Fool's, they did like a high ram that was, I don't know, 60 inches tall. Yeah, we're not putting the motor this high up off the ground. Just
what?
Not April Fool's video. If you guys haven't seen it, go check it out. It's actually really funny.
I haven't seen it, so I'll
funny.
have to look at it. But anyway, yeah, so I've got a cool little start engine run switch over there that we're going to mount to the panel along with some gauges. But we're getting there. We're getting there. I've got a cool little 2.5 gallon fuel cell coming that we're going to have to mount to the frame. Oh, yeah, yeah.
A Vanna White.
Yeah,
Can I say
nice.
Vanna White?
Nice.
Price is right.
I'm glad you're not wearing a dress. This is no Budweiser commercial. All right. All right, so that's the update for now. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you have any questions, drop us a note down below. Please subscribe and like, and we'll see you next time. Stop picking your nose over there.
Protein. We're still going to build a back brace of some sort, but it's in. Other than that, no, not really. I can't think of anything.
All right, so I think we're going to wrap it up for today. It's standing there. Hopefully when we come back, it won't be on the ground. But yeah, these cheap headers I got off of eBay, they're hitting here, and they're bizarrely close in on that side and not as long as the header on this side. So I don't know what's going on there. So I guess that just goes to say or show that you should not buy cheap stuff, because sometimes it just does not fit. But anyway, I guess this is where we're at right now. Like I said, we're still waiting on a couple components to start mating to the rest of the stand. But I think we've made some good progress. Yeah, so that's where the radiator is going to go. Control panel right above it. Battery over there. Mount the fuel cell probably right there. Then we're going to have what? Various stuff like the fuel pump you said. We still need a starter for the motor. Yeah, still got a little ways to go. We're probably going to do some bracing back here because it is still a little, there's a little bit of give this way, and I'm a little concerned about fatigue on these joints down here. So any thoughts?
Woohoo! Yeah, I mean, hopefully the next video is us actually, like buttoning it up and everything. If you're doing one of these on your own, which is, you know, our first time doing it, just make sure that all of your brackets clear your bolts. Not
Yeah.
actually bolting in and out.
Yeah.
So, like, for example, you know, your bracing coming up on your motor mounts. Make sure that clears the holes in the bolts so you can get the bolts in and out easily without it interfering your bracing. So,
Yeah.
And did we explain why that?
Yeah, I mean, that was like the first video we shot today, was explaining why we cut this off and built it up like that. But yeah, that part worked pretty good. And obviously we built this stand, this run stand, specifically for this motor so we can test it. And also it's specifically built for LS motors, because a lot of the designs you see in the kits you can buy and stuff, those arms are adjustable. Ours is not. Maybe someday, if we ever work on something else, we'll cut this apart and make the arms adjustable. But that would probably be about the only modification we need to do to it to make it work with another engine.
If you guys want to see that, hire us to build a different motor for you, and we'll modify this to fit the
Yeah,
motor.
yeah. All right, that's it. Signing off. You guys have a good one.